when it comes to, expansion and growth, how have you approached that more recently at Airvet?
Well, I had to hire people substantially smarter than I am, and it turns out that's not so hard. Um, the uh, the hard thing sometimes for founders is to acknowledge the things you don't know, because we need to, like, you sit in front of a VC, you feel like you need to have all the answers and you need to know everything. You need to come off as an expert, the expert in the space. I think the reality is, you don't have to be. You just have to be convincing that you are resourceful and that you know what you don't know, and to be able to hire great teams. That was probably the hardest part about AirVet, was figuring out our leadership team. I'm a solo founder. Um, I don't know that I would do that again, but so being a solo founder is hard. I highly recommend co-founders. But figuring out our leadership team was probably the biggest struggle we had, that we only relatively recently solved after our Series B. Um, it's extremely hard to figure that out. We went through a lot of iterations of the leadership team. That's hard for the team. It's hard for the culture. But ultimately, I hired people like Taryn Bronca as our chief commercial officer, because founder-led sales, it's great. And we do a hell of a job. No one's ever going to sell it the way the founder does. But to have someone that then can put structure to what we do, because as founders, we're oftentimes very unstructured, because we're just out there on the road moving at 100 miles an hour. So I hired an absolute animal, right? She is just extraordinary. She's a beast. She can run circles around me when it comes to building sales teams, specifically in the employee benefit sales space. She is brilliant. She is a cultural phenomenon. Everybody wants to work with Taryn, and she uh, she was at a women's health startup before. She personally brought them leading commercial from 750,000 in ARR to 80 million in 3.5 years. She is just extraordinary, and I get to learn from her a ton. People like Moots, who run product and eng at Airvet, and Kathy, who runs people and culture, and Paul, who runs finance, all the things that we do, because we do all of it as founders, to be able to know when it's time to let someone else come in and take it to that next level. That was our big thing as we were starting to scale. Is you founder-led sales is great. It's fun. It never really goes away, but figuring out how to turn that into a machine so you can hire people and be and sell in places that you can't, never expecting they're going to be able to sell as well as the founder. And that's okay. But it has to be scalable. So that's how we have approached growth, is we went from founder-led sales to building a very refined and well-oiled sales team with a dedicated sales leader in Taryn that has become more so my partner in all of this.